sway and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's Good Morning
Bay.
Good morning, Bay. आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते.
Namaskar.
Welcome.
Namaskara.
खुश आमदीद.
Assalamu alaikum.
सत श्री अकाल.
Meekandriki Vandanamo.
जय स्वामी नारायण.
Jai Shri Krishna.
जय जनेंद्र.
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोल दे या अली मदद.
मलाली मदद बोलते हैं सारे फीजी मंदिर को बोलेंगे नीसा बुला बरजन. हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारे. मैं सिर्फ फालतू बाबा.
And of course, myself, Faltu Rani, lekar aapke liye ko drive time that's going to make it totally exciting and totally Mastani Bandajani Friday. It's Friday.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
That's right, Bandajan. Wherever you are, give us a call here and share with us what's happening on the roads. Jahan pe aap atke pade Bandajan. Let me tell you one thing. Stay indoors. Today is the message for you guys. Stay indoors because it's going to be another hot day. And yes, the advisory is in effect right now. Heat advisory because of winds and also the high temperatures. We're going to experience something like a mid-90s Bandajan. Mid to upper 90s approximately. It already is kind of hot already. If you can notice already the sun actually heating us up. It's already mid 70s. It'll go higher, almost 20 degrees in the afternoon I suppose. So probably any activity you want to do indoors, do that for sure, and stay vigilant about fires as well around your neighborhood. And make sure you can report it. PG&E already is on the task of giving shutdown to places where they possibly think the equipment might cause fire. So that's something you got to watch out for. Let's see on the traffic part of it. Friday traffic, yeah, not much of traffic on the road, not much of cars on the road also. It's good. That's nice news actually. But there's an accident on 680 southbound to heading towards 580 actually. It's in Dublin area. It's kind of not even impacting traffic over there, but it's kind of doesn't report it on the screen, so let it go. And let me tell you, the tolls actually have started. People who didn't know about that, tolls already have started on different places. The fast track properly, so you got to watch out for that. They do have special for EV vehicles. They're actually giving special 50% discounts and everything. So want to go check out. They want to encourage people to be driving clean cars. As you guys know, 2025 or something, or 24. Yeah, 2025 was a target for California to go EV or multiple vehicles. So they're going to give a lot of incentives for people to want to buy EV electronic vehicles. So probably you can explore that option as well. Now that was your update in terms of what's happening with the roads and also temperature part of it. There is a red flag warning in different places, which we'll share more in the news items for you guys, right, Faltwani?
Yes.
But let's see what is the headlines for today. And Faltu, what is the headlines today which you're going to focus on? Are you going to share something about the presidential thing, or is it going to be all about just the climate here?
No, it's not all about just the climate. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, Alta Baba.
Great tell, Fazwani.
Hold on. I gotta do this. Okay. All right, so Banajan, some of the biggest headlines coming out today are with regard to the red flag warning being extended for parts of North Bay, East Bay, and Santa Cruz Mountains. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we go into the news in detail. In split screen town halls, Trump and Biden squabble over coronavirus response. Biden, Trump blaze the U.S. campaign trail as early vote surges with 18 days to go. Biden also hedges on support for court packing proposal. Shares of gun makers gain as Biden's lead grows. California Republicans push back in ballot drop box dispute. Bay Area counties have already counted hundreds of thousands of ballots. New coronavirus infections rise to record highs in the U.S. Midwest and beyond. Former New Jersey Governor Christie says he was wrong not to wear a mask. U.S. Energy Secretary cut short Midwest trip after aides test positive for COVID-19. Twitter CEO says blocking the New York Post article without context was actually wrong. Google launches new features to help locate the nearest voting locations. Presence of Chinese troops with weapons at the line of actual control is a critical security challenge, says Minister Jaishankar. What happens when COVID-19 meets toxic air in India? India is soon going to be finding out, Bandajan.
Why is that we have toxic air in India?
Well, that is...
Supposedly what? There's pollution in India talking about?
Yeah, in Delhi specifically, they're talking about a situation which we will discuss in detail if we have enough time on the news in detail section. And of course, India has successfully done a night trial of the nuclear-capable Prithvi 2 missile.
Ha! So what is the point of doing all those things?
I don't
when
know.
You're not able to control the air in your own capital. My God, seriously.
And you know, that's what appalls me, no, Altubaba. Sometimes I think about it, the kids like Greta Thunberg, they are actually right. You know, here we are fighting about line of actual control. We are fighting about, China is doing this. We're fighting about Republicans, Democrats.
Well,
and the world is going to hell in every sense of the term. Nobody's paying attention to
Well,
it.
you know, I look at it this way. I think the amount of money you spend on defense and all this stuff, right, actually does not make sense to me at all. You actually can gainfully employ all these people going into the military, in the civil service part of it, and actually you can eradicate hunger totally. Do you know what is the budget of American defense budget? It's public information. People can Google it if you want. It's close to almost $1 trillion. Like around $800 billion in that range.
Yeah.
This is the money which they actually give towards the military budget, which includes many things. Many things, Banjan. Not just you don't just think it's only buying about guns and everything. And also understand one thing over here, Banjan. They actually even sell arms and ammunition to other countries.
But what is the point of arms and ammunition when you don't have food on your table?
Yeah, Medicare. Medical over here for people. Many people don't have medical support here.
Indeed.
Right? And even the veterans that come back, you know, obviously broken, and, you know, things that they suddenly realize the reality of life. Like, you know, all pointless, whatever they did there.
Right.
Because they're fighting the wars for these politicians.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when they come back over here, it's not a good scene also, by the way. So I think the first thing they must do is we need to have a president to come back and say, no, I'm going to cut all defense spending by 75%.
Yeah, and you're going to reallocate that money towards stimulus for people.
Stimulus
like
for people,
everybody's
yes.
going to get, like, you know how Andrew Yang came out and said $1,000 a month everybody gets.
Yes, exactly. And then why? I would just say go put $1 million in everybody's kitty. Big deal, yeah.
How will you put $1 million?
Yeah, why not? You can do it. It's possible. A country can actually make it happen. Come on, all you economics out there, think outside the box.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Anyway, but the point is, I will give you all kinds of stupid ideas sometimes.
No, it may not be a stupid idea. You never know. Altibaba, you should run for president.
Okay, fine, Faltani.
Of not just America, the world.
I sure that is very, very interesting for me, but we'll talk about it later. But I'll be right up and Gane Kira for you guys. Kishore Kumar की आवाज में Kishore Kumar की मधुर composition में Kishore Kumar के lyrics में Kishore Kumar का acting वाला movie Jumru. Title track for the movie Jumru.
Assalamu alaikum. Namaste to all our Bajus joining us on Facebook.
बन के घुमरू में ये प्यार का गीत सुनाता चला मंजिल पे मेरी नजर मैं दुनिया से बेखबर बीती बातों पे धूल उड़ाता चला मैं हूँ झुम 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 झुमरू फक्कड़ घूमू बन के घुमरू मैं ये प्यार का गीत सुनाता चला मंजिल पे मेरी नजर मैं दुनिया से बेखबर बीती बातों पे धूल उड़ाता चला युड़ रे पका यो का पका युड़ रे बगा लूगा बगा मैं हूँ झुम 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 झुमरू फक्कड़ घूमू बन के घुमरू साथ में हम सफर न कोई कारवां भोला भाला सीधा साधा लेकिन दिल का हूँ शहजादा है ये मेरी ज़मीं ये मेरा आसमां युड़ रे पका यो का पका युड़ रे baga loga baga
What talented personality, Balajan Kishore Kumar. Look at this. This movie, he made his movie. He directed the movie. He sang in the song. He actually wrote the song. He even actually strung the whole thing. Literally the music.
Right.
Now that's what exactly Bansal is getting at, actually.
Who's getting it?
Bansali. He's trying to come to the point.
No, man. There's no comparison between Sanjay Leela Bhansali and...
because Sanjay Leela Bhansali doesn't act as movies.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah. But that was the Gane Akira for you guys. Now it's going to go into the news updates. I really want to know, is orange going to stay or is it going to go back to purple?
I don't know, but aren't you glad that I'm going to bring you the news right now? Well, anyway, Bhatisha, the skies are orange. Red flag warning for the North Bay valleys and mountains, East Bay valleys and hills, and the Santa Cruz mountains have been extended through 6 p.m. today, as gusty winds and dry conditions were expected to persist, according to the National Weather Service. The fire weather warning originally was set to expire at 11 a.m. today, but now it's been extended till 6 p.m. Gusty northeast winds and dry conditions prompted the Weather Service to issue this warning, which took effect at 5 a.m. on Wednesday. So please be careful when you're out there, and those of you in those particular areas, you please stay in touch with what the alerts are going to be sent out by the local areas. In fact, actually, you know what, Altaba, we should get somebody from FEMA to come on the show.
Sure, let's get FEMA, let's get PETA, everybody.
What? What is?
People eating tasty animals?
Oh God, stop, Altaba.
Just kidding. Okay, Faltun, I really want to know. I sometimes I feel proud to be in America. Because we have a supreme leader who can beat anything.
Oh,
I can't
yesterday was
imagine.
amazing, dude. Did you see the town hall? I just
Did
saw.
he
I was.
sneeze?
No.
Was he like sniffles?
I don't
Nothing?
know. I don't know. I just got a little bit.
Did you have a sore throat?
No, but he
Did
clearly
you have a
was.
sore throat? Or no?
I don't know, Altaba.
Was it hilarious? Or hilarious?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, fine. Share, we won't.
I didn't see the whole town hall.
Everything. What is it? I don't know. Come on, please give me some answers
I'm
here.
just going to tell you that Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden on Thursday criticized what he called Trump's panicked response to the coronavirus pandemic, while Trump defending his handling of a crisis that has killed more than 216,000 Americans. It was sat there and oh God, it was some of the things that I saw were the flubs that he made when the Savannah Guthrie, like she laid into him with regard to, you're not just somebody's uncle who's retweeting conspiracy theories. And he says, wow, if there is something that is talking about pedophilia, I am going to retweet it or whatever he said. She said, but you're the president of America.
Okay.
Not somebody's uncle who's just going to, retweet some conspiracy theory.
And
that
who was
some
she?
She's the NBC, she was the person who was moderating the town hall.
Liberals.
Whatever, man, be quiet. The rivals spoke in simultaneous town halls broadcast on separate television networks after a debate originally scheduled for Thursday was called off following Trump's COVID-19 diagnosis. The split-screen showdown offered a stark reminder of the many ways the campaign season has been changed by a pandemic that has prompted more than 18 million people to cast votes more than 2 weeks before Election Day on November 3rd. Biden, speaking to voters in Philadelphia on ABC, blamed the Republican president for concealing the deadliness of the virus. He said he didn't tell anybody because he was afraid Americans would panic. Americans don't panic. He panicked, is what Biden said.
We go on picnic. We don't panic.
Yeah. Trump defended both his response to the pandemic as well as his own personal conduct, including staging the Rose Garden event at the White House, where a few wore masks and practiced social distancing, which resulted in numerous attendees contracting the disease. And you know what he said? Everybody's tested. Everybody is tested. I'm tested every day. So there is no reason for us. I like masks. I like masks. I want everybody to wear masks. That's the way he was yesterday. And then she said, but you were not wearing a mask. And he's like, he didn't have an answer. It was just really, really interesting to see some of these exchanges yesterday, Bandajan. And whether we like it or not, we are in a pandemic, right?
Yeah.
We are in a situation where we need to be exercising as much caution because of the uncertainty and because of the fact that we don't know much about this particular virus.
Yeah.
Right? So, anyway, U.S. President Donald Trump and his Democratic challenger Joe Biden both plan to hit the campaign trail again today with visits to 3 battleground states after displaying their sharply contrasting styles in televised town halls. Trump lags in opinion polls, apparently, right now, according to Reuters. And latest figures from his campaign show he's also behind in fundraising in the final weeks before the November 3rd election. Trump's campaign and the Republican National Committee raised some $247.8 million in September. His campaign manager said on Twitter, well behind the $383 million haul of Biden and the Democratic Party. And the candidates, as they return to the trail, a record of 21.2 million Americans have already voted, Bandhujan. And let me tell you about California, Bay Area counties themselves, right? Have counted more than hundreds of thousands of ballots. Some jurisdictions have already reported receiving larger than normal quantities of return ballots so early in the election season. In view of this COVID-19 pandemic, which made in-person voting more problematic than in other years, California sent mail-in ballots to all its registered voters at least 29 days before the November 3rd election. So they're saying that they have received, they've received more than 100,000, and they're saying for the March primary we did not cross the 100,000 mark until 4 days before election day, but right now they've gone way beyond 100,000 already return ballots. And speaking of return ballots, Altu Baba,
Yeah.
you remember the whole Bandhujan, this is something that you need to pay attention to, because there are California Republican lawmakers have actually admitted to owning and putting up fake ballot drop boxes. Yeah, and now what they're doing, egged on by Donald Trump, these guys vowed on Wednesday to keep collecting ballots that voters deliver to party-furnished drop boxes in churches, gun shops, and campaign offices, a practice that they are saying is perfectly legal. Republicans were responding to a cease and desist order on Tuesday from California's top elections officials, Secretary of State Alex Padilla, demanding removal of unauthorized and non-official vote-by-mail ballot boxes set up by the party in at least 3 counties. Padilla and State Attorney General Javier Becerra, both Democrats, said they are giving party officials until Thursday to comply with terms of the order or face legal action, including possible prosecution. And partisan fights over mail ballots and drop box collections have become a defining issue in the 2020 U.S. presidential race, as the popularity of such voting methods surges this year due to the coronavirus pandemic and concerns over the U.S. Postal Service delays. How is it legal, Altubaba? I can't understand how they're making this legal.
You know what? Supreme Leader will make it legal. Don't worry. After he wins the elections, please, Bandhujan, go vote for sure.
Yeah. In the
Please
middle of
vote responsibly.
Exactly, and in the middle of all of this, Bandhujan, if you're planning travel to the Midwest, please don't, because there's been a surge in record highs of coronavirus infections in the US Midwest and beyond. For more on that, you can go to mediamahima.com, and people are realizing their mistakes. Like Governor Christie came out and said, I made a mistake, I should have worn a mask, and I was not wearing it, especially at the Rose Garden ceremony. So many other news stories that we have shared here, Bandhujan, you can go and look it up on mediamahima.com. We'll be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show. Tab tak ke liye hame ijazat dijiye. Stay cool, stay safe, and stay indoors if possible on this fantastic Friday.
मंजिल पे मेरी नजर मैं दुनिया से बेखबर बीती बातों पे धूल उड़ाता चला हो टिड़िड़िड़ि युड़ रे पका यो का पका हो टिड़िड़िड़ि युड़ रे बगा लूगा बगा हो टिड़िड़िड़ि युड़ रे मैं हूँ झुम 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 झुमरू फक्कड़ घूमू बन के घुमरू साथ में हम सफर न कोई कारवां भोला भाला सीधा साधा लेकिन दिल का हूँ शहजादा है ये मेरी जमीन ये मेरा आसमां ओ टिड़िड़िड़िड़ि युड़ रे बका यो का बका ओ टिड़िड़िड़िड़ि युड़ रे baga loga baga oh
Bandhujan, this is your darling Faltu Rani, and let me tell you, Bandhujani, that all these beautiful tracks that you're listening to right now are